Hi there, welcome to Shaw TV's Way to Grow. My name is Laura Ravey. With me is Dwayne Friesen from Lacoste Garden Center. And right now we're giving you some tips on soil and how at this time of year it might be a good time to check out how your soil is doing, some of the different things. We've got some samples here for you. We're going to get our hands dirty.
I'll get your hands in there, but the soils, everything revolves around how good the quality of your soil is. You can't grow, you can have the best plants in the world, put them into bad soil, they're not going to do well. Take bad plants, put them into good soil, they're going to thrive, and thank you for it. So soil is the most important thing with all of your gardening, whether it's going to be in your beds, on your lawn, or in your containers. So fall now lends itself as a good time to go and work on your soil. Your beds are going to start emptying out now as you're cleaning things up. It's going to be drier than in spring, so you can go in there and work on your soils. Our soils tend to be very heavy and clayish in Winnipeg and in the Red River Valley area, so it's nice to go in there when it's drier so you don't compact the soil. And what we're basically doing is adding organic matter back, and we can be adding organic back in the form of peat moss, compost, manure. I've got a few ways of doing that. First off, we have some good old Manitoba peat moss here.
Okay.
And it comes compressed in the bag, but you loosen it up and it just feels soft.
Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And this is, if nothing else, you want to get some peat moss in. It's organic. You mix it into your soil as evenly as possible, and you can spread it out. You want to get it nice and soft like that. Spread it out first in your garden and put on a few inches, work it into the soil, put on a few inches more, and that's with any of these products. Don't put 6 inches on and try and work that in because it won't work into your soil evenly. Okay. So just do a few inches at a time, work it in, and you want to try and get that soil profile to be as even as possible because the plant's roots will develop better through that. I've got some manure here. And you gotta put your hands. I want you to run your hands to that. And manure, it looks just like soil, doesn't it?
Wow, yeah.
It's a little bit wet in the bag from the humidity, but it's just like soil. So when you're getting manure that's properly composted and ready to use, so whether you're getting that from a farmer who's been composting it or from the garden center, it'll look just like soil. And that's totally broken down. There won't be any odor with it or anything on there. But again, manure will have a small charge of nutrients in it. So that's where the plants get that initial boost of it because they're able to get at the nutrients quite easy. This is a clay buster. Our soils being heavy clay, they tend to get very compacted, which can be very problematic. So you want to loosen that up. Now with a clay buster, we've got a product in here. It's a gypsum and zeolite. And what they will do is they'll actually chemically unbind the clay, if you want to, just in simple terms, that's what's going to happen. So it'll loosen it up chemically. There'll be compost and peat in this mixture as well. And so once that soil is loosened, you can mix it in with the soil that's there so you can get that even mixture again. But it actually just chemically unbinds it, loosens it up so that you can get the organic matter distributed through it and start loosening it up.
Okay, so are these alternatives? Or do you need all of them or combinations, or how do you know which to use?
Yeah, you can use any one of them. Okay. Some people will have their preferences, even with manure, between the differences between steer manure and sheep manure. Just as long as you're getting some organic matter down in there, that's going to be the key thing. It'll become a little bit personal preference what you can do. Sometimes cost comes into play. Peat moss is relatively cheap to spread in your yard. Okay. Now the other thing that often people forget about is that you've got the soil in your beds for your growing your plants in your garden, but you've got soil in your lawn. And often that's neglected, and more often than not I'm seeing that we're not leaving enough topsoil down on our lawns for the lawns to grow well. You know, as soon as we get any kind of hot weather, they brown off very quickly, you know, if you're not constantly watering. So the one thing that I would suggest is don't forget about your lawns. Do some top dressing on the lawn. And we've got a bag of topsoil here. Okay. And if you want to just grab the rake here and you start raking, I'll spread some out here. The lawn needs to have the soil here too, so get some soil down.
So you just rake it in?
Yeah, we're not going to do a super thick area, and we'll just work in that area. We're just going to rake it in and spread it out. You want the grass to come through still. You want to see the grass.
Okay, so I'm not really digging hard.
So you're maybe going to do maybe an inch of soil a year on it, but you're replenishing that topsoil right where the roots are, where the plant is.
You're the pro.
Get it worked in there.
Okay, so there you go.
Just like that.
So it disappears almost.
Yeah, it disappears right in there. You know, and if you start doing that every year, you start replenishing your lawn, the topsoil on there, and like I say, you add maybe up to an inch. There'll be some effects that you'll get, that there possibly will be some weeds coming through, because any good topsoil will have weeds in it, and that's a great sign.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, if your topsoil isn't growing weeds, that's not good. Weeds are a good sign that you've got a good, healthy soil, so don't be discouraged by that.
Okay.
But You get it on there, and you can do this in fall, so when you don't have the heavy traffic on it. The grass will start to grow through it a bit in fall, and in spring it'll come through by the time you start wanting to use your lawn. And the next year it's going to look just like it did before.
So doing all of this also reduces that springtime checklist, which is a bonus.
Yeah, much like we talked to the perennials cutting back in the spring, this is something you can do now. You need to do this kind of work, so do it now. It frees up the spring when you got to take the kids off to soccer, baseball, and all the other school programs.
Exactly. Okay, so if people need to know more about these different types of soil, what should they do?
They can either give us a call at Lacoste Garden Center or come see us down at 2787 St. Mary's Road, or visit us online at lacostegardencentre.ca.